Hello, how's it going, everybody? So today we're going to be jumping into Song of Solomon, chapter 1. We finished Ecclesiastes the last time we did a stream. I know it's been a bit spotty here and there with the streams, right? I mean, it's we're getting into Christmas soon, so it's busy, right? So you guys are busy. I know that I'm busy, so we're not gonna have the streams as frequent as we normally have been doing. But like for example, I don't think Tuesday I don't think I'm going to be able to do a stream, but we'll see, we'll take it a day at a time and we'll see how it goes. Let's check to see if we're lagging here. I feel like it's a little bit delayed. Let me just do this real quick. How's it now? Hopefully it's better right now. Let's see. Let's see, I'm just going to wait for the stream to catch up so I can double check. All right, that's better. Looks like that's better. All right. So, again, today we're going to jump into Song of Solomon, chapter 1, and we're going to go all the way to 4. I got the text up on screen already. So, let's get started here. Wait, do I have the audio up for you? Yep, there we go. All right, let's get started.
The Song of Solomon. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's.
So, I'm guessing, like Psalms, predominantly those were written by David. And so the Song of Solomon, I'm going to assume that they're all written by Solomon, because we had Proverbs by Solomon, and those were pretty much just words of wisdom, sayings, little proverbs, each verse. And now we're going to jump into something a little bit more similar to Psalms. That's what I'm assuming going in. So let's keep going.
Which is Solomon's.
Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. For your
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that this is not from Solomon's perspective, or at least I hope so.
The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's.
Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. For your love is better than wine. Because of the fragrance of your good ointments, your name is ointment poured forth. Therefore the virgins love you.
Dang, okay. No wonder he had 700 wives. And how many concubines? I forgot. But your name is ointment poured forth. So his name alone is like a healing. Like, that's how much they looked up to him. Like how much they wanted him. Dang.
Draw me away.
Like, draw me away. Like, she can't resist. They're like, she's asking to be pulled back. Where okay, so this, I'm assuming this is a Shulamite talking. This Shulamite girl, Solomon's love for a Shulamite girl. So far, honestly, this is not Solomon's love. This is the Shulamite girl's love for Solomon. Where do Shulamites reside? Shulamite. A Shulamite is a person from Shulam. The Hebrew Bible identifies as a Shulamite, the swarthy female protagonist in the Song of Solomon's in the King James Version, and in other Bibles called the Song of Solomon or the Canticle of Canticles. Let's see. Shulam. Let's look up where Shulam is. Because I am just curious. Is that where Shulam is? Okay, so Shulam, let's look up a bigger picture. All sizes, let's go large. I guess large is not doing us too much good. So I'm going to assume that this is Shulam here. No, it's Rimmon. Where's Shulam? I think I saw a little article. Where was Shulam? Home of the Shulamite. Okay, let's see what this has to say. Where was Shulam, home of the beautiful Shulamite, maiden of the Song of Solomon? Some have suggested that since the word Shulamite is similar to the Hebrew name Solomon, that the designation is simply an indication that she was married to Solomon. Interesting. So people think that Shulam, that she was referred to as the Shulamite because it was similar to Solomon and they were in some sort of relationship. So therefore, his name was adopted. Like this woman adopted her name in this song. And with the emphasis on the name, your name is ointment poured forth, it makes sense why they would probably want to adopt a derivative of Solomon's name. But I don't know. Since Shulam is an actual place, I don't see that happening. That's a bit odd. I feel like. So in this theory, the title Shulamite was in fact the maiden's married name. I don't know about all that. But this would contradict the account which indicates that she never married Solomon, but was returned to her true love, the handsome shepherd boy. So she went with the David clone, looks like. Okay, that's interesting. But she sounds like she's head over heels for Solomon, but a handsome shepherd boy is her true love. Okay, let's keep going. Most scholars agree that the term Shulamite indicates that she was a person from Shulam. That seems to be the obvious conclusion, which they believe to be synonymous with Shunem, a small town in northern Israel. So is there no place called Shulam? That's interesting. So are we just assuming that the Shulam is referring to Shunem and that this woman is actually a Shunammite or a Sunamite? Supporting this view is the fact that the ancient Greek Septuagint translation of the Hebrew scriptures calls the girl the Sunamite. Okay. Also, the 4th century church historian and writer Eusebius referred to Shunem as Shulam. Shunem is sufficiently ancient. It is listed as Shunama, the Amarna tablets, which date back to 14th century BCE, discovered in Egypt. These tablets are diplomatic correspondence between Egypt and Canaanite warlords. Shunem is also listed on the Bubasite portal. Bubasite portal? What is that? In the temple of Amun-Re in Egypt. This is like some type of, this is like some, I don't know, like some Stargate type of stuff. This temple wall lists cities subjugated by Pharaoh Shoshenq, almost certainly the Pharaoh Shishak of the Bible account. This list of cities dates to circa 925 BCE, shortly after the life of Solomon and presumably the Shulamite maiden. Okay, but that's okay. So according to this article, there's no Shulam. There's a Shunam, and so the Shulamite is actually referring to Sunamite, which was used in other translations like the Greek Septuagint. So we're all over the place here. We are all over the place here. Shunam. But see, there's a Shunem on this map. So, okay, what was the place? Shulam. Right? Where was it? Shulam. Let's look up Shulam. If it comes up on the same place on the map as Shunem. Shulam map. Popping up as Shunem. So are Shulam and Shunem synonymous? I don't know what that was. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see if Wikipedia can give us some insight. Let's look up Shulam. Nothing. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you think Shulam and Shunem are the same place? And if so, how would you interpret that? That's interesting. I don't want to spend too much time on something that's not really significant with what the rest of the passages are about, but it's just interesting to think about. So let's keep on going.
Therefore the virgins love you. Draw me away.
We will run after you.
The king has brought me into his chambers.
We will
My
be glad
gosh.
and rejoice in you. We will remember your love more than wine.
Oh, come
Rightly
on.
do they love you. I am dark, but lovely. O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Do not look upon me, because I am dark,
Come on.
because the sun has tanned me. My mother's
not a big
sons were
deal.
angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards.
My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards. Why? Because of your skin color? What? Is there some correlation there? That sucks.
Look upon me, because I am dark, because the sun has tanned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They
Your
made me the
brothers.
keeper of the vineyards. But my own vineyard I have not kept. Tell me, O you whom I love, where you feed your flock, where you make it rest at noon. For why should I be as one who veils herself by the flocks of your companions?
So the other article was talking about the shepherd boy that she was in love with, right? They were talking about Solomon, right? Let's go back to the beginning. The Shulamite, right? I'm assuming that she was talking about Solomon here, right? Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, blah, 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 right? I was assuming that she was talking about Solomon. Maybe she's not. Rightly do they love you? Multiple people love. Do you think love this person? So do you think they would be talking about the shepherd boy or Solomon? I am dark but lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Do not look upon me, because I am dark. Blah blah blah. Okay, so see, that was only reference to Solomon, just a description, right? And not even really referring to Solomon. The king has brought me into his chambers. Okay, so there we go. There's one. We will be glad and rejoice in you, and we will remember your love more than wine. So are these in chronological order? So this would mean that this happened after this. So therefore this you is this king and his, same person. So the daughters of Jerusalem are saying this. And the Shulamite is saying this. So so do we know for sure that these subheadings are accurate? Because if the subheadings are accurate, because we're basing a lot of the meaning of what's being written here based on these subheadings, because people who are saying these things, it matters, right? Because this would contradict one another, right? When we go into this here. Tell me, O you whom I love, where you feed your flock. Solomon's not feeding any flock. He's not a shepherd. So, to her beloved, is her, the Shulamite, because that's where we left off of, the daughters, plural, of Jerusalem. So that's not her. So, see what I mean? We're trying to figure out the meaning. These subheadings are giving us a lot of clues. So, because with Psalms, we weren't really sure with the subheadings. So that's why I'm curious. The daughters of Jerusalem, we will run after you. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. Because of the fragrance of your good ointments. That's got to be Solomon, right? A shepherd wouldn't be having good ointments. Your name is ointment poured forth. Therefore, the virgins love you. Multiple girls love this guy. So I'm guessing they're talking about Solomon. Draw me away. So that's why, because then it's this, the other subheading, right, is the banquet, right? The main title is the banquet. A king would have a banquet. So it looks like we are definitely talking about Solomon. And is that why she's saying, draw me away? Because she really loves somebody else and she doesn't trust herself with Solomon? The daughters of Jerusalem are saying, we run after you. They run after the king. The king has brought me into his chambers. So that's what the Shulamite is saying. And the Shulamite was asking, draw me away from this guy. I don't want to be with this guy because I can't resist, essentially. So rightly do they love you. I am dark but lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Do not look upon me, because I am dark, because the sun has tanned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but not my own vineyard. But my own vineyard I have not kept. Let's continue reading here. So what it looks like is, this Shulamite likes, so far, what it looks like, this Shulamite likes this other guy. But she was taken in, into the king's chambers, right? And so she's seeing like all these other women really want him, but I'm in love with somebody else. So please take me away from the king, because I can see why all these girls fawn over him, because I'm starting to feel like that too. But I like this other guy, so I can't control my urges. So get me out of here.
Tell me, O you whom I love, where you feed your flock, where you make it rest at noon. For why should I be as one who veils herself by the flocks of your companions?
If you do not know, O fairest among women, follow in the footsteps of the flock, and feed your little goats beside the shepherd's tents. I have compared you, my love, to my filly among Pharaoh's chariots. Your cheeks are lovely with ornaments, your neck with chains of gold.
We will make you ornaments of gold with studs of silver.
Well,
so who are the daughters of Jerusalem talking to there? Like, the ordering is confusing. I'll look up a commentary after this. Are they continuing to speak about Solomon, or are they referencing the previous section? Because we just talked about your cheeks are lovely with ornaments, your neck with chains of gold, and then the daughters of Jerusalem are saying, we will make you ornaments of gold with studs of silver. So are the daughters of Jerusalem making these ornaments for the Shulamite who likes this guy, the beloved?
We'll make you ornaments of gold with studs of silver.
While the king is at his table, my spikenard sends forth its fragrance. A bundle of myrrh is my beloved to me, that lies all night between my breasts. My beloved is to me a cluster of henna blooms in the vineyards of En-Gedi.
Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes.
Behold, you are handsome, my beloved. Yes, pleasant. Also, our bed is green. The beams of our houses are cedar, and our rafters of fir.
If that's their house, I'm assuming that can a shepherd afford a house where our bed is green? So that's the grass. The beams of our house are cedar. So are they living amongst the trees? So that's why they're so. Yeah, is she saying that she is sleeping outside? Or is she talking about how their house is actually made of cedar and the rafters are for literally? And that would be okay, so it's an expensive house. Would Solomon, would he live in Solomon would be in a stone house, palace. Because the only thing that I'm going off of that the beloved is a shepherd was this right here. Where is it? Where was it? Tell me, oh, you whom I love, where you feed your flock, where you make it rest at noon. For why should I be as one who veils herself by the flock of your companions? So, could the flock be talking about the people of Israel, the people of Jerusalem? And therefore, you could make the beloved be Solomon and not this other guy? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's look up a commentary. Song of Solomon, chapter 1. Oh, forgot. Okay, commentary. So the dialogue between the maiden and the young man begins with this passionate desire of the maiden. She wants to receive and experience the love of her beloved. So who is this beloved? At the very beginning, we catch some of the power of this Song of Solomon. One can learn many relationship principles from this book, but it is not presented to us primarily as a handbook on relationships. It does not state principles in logical arguments. Instead, it assembles a number of songs or poems. It causes us to feel as if we are with Solomon and Shulamite, not merely watching them. As we read, we share their feelings. So this person is saying that the beloved, or at least this from this section, is talking about Solomon. And who said that? Who is speaking in that first section? The Shulamite. So this commentary, that at least that person in the commentary was thinking that they were talking about Solomon there. Let's keep going. I want to get to the, what verse was that with the flocks? Oh no, let's go to the daughters of Jerusalem. So that's 5, right? That's 2 to 4. Where is it? Did we not have that in here? I don't see it. We will run after you. Yeah, where is that? I don't know. Oh, but here's the main part. Tell me, O you, whom I love, where you feed your flock. Here the beloved is pictured as a shepherd, which was presumably a symbolic representation. Okay, so not a literal shepherd, according to this commentary. Perhaps touching on the idea common in the ancient world that the king was like a shepherd to his people. So that's what I was saying. It could be that. The picture is clear. She wanted to know where her beloved was because she simply wanted to be with him. The picture of a shepherd is one reason why some think that the Song of Solomon is actually a drama with the distinction between Solomon the king and the beloved, who is also a simple shepherd. On balance, it seems best to regard this simply as a poetic description of Solomon the king, who was also the beloved. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you think that this beloved is a shepherd, or do you think the beloved and Solomon are one and the same? Looks like we have multiple interpretations going on here. And that's pretty much what I want to check into. So it looks like it's up in the air. We don't know for sure. Maybe if we keep on going with Song of Solomon 2, we might get more clues. So let's jump into that.
I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys.
Like a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters.
Like an apple tree among the trees of the woods, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down in his shade with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Sustain me with cakes of raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am lovesick. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. The voice of my beloved. Behold, he comes, leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, he stands behind our wall. He is looking through the windows, gazing through the lattice. My beloved spoke.
Sounds like a king, right? Gazing through the lattice, looking through the windows. Sounds like a place where a king would stand. A shepherd gazing through the lattice.
And said to me,
I don't know.
Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grapes give a good smell. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. Oh,
We go with that
my
Indiana
dove,
Jones music.
in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the cliff, let me see your face. Let me hear your voice. For your voice is sweet, and your face is lovely.
Catch us, the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines. For our vines have tender grapes.
My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds his flock among the lilies. Until the day breaks, and the shadows flee away, turn, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stag upon the mountains of Bether.
So he takes care of his flock, right? Again, not enough clues here to really say distinctly who this beloved is. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Solomon 3. Song of Solomon 3. Let's go.
By night, on my bed, I sought the one I love. I sought him, but I did not find him. I will rise now, I said, and go about the city. In the streets and in the squares, I will seek the one I love. I sought him, but I did not find him. The watchmen who go about the city found me. I said, "Have you seen the one I love?" Scarcely had I passed by them when I found the one I love. I held him and would not let him go.
That's interesting. I mean, if it was Solomon, he would be in the palace. You wouldn't be able to run around the city, through the streets and the squares, looking for him.
Until I had brought him to the house of my mother, and into the chamber of her who conceived me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. Who is this coming out of the wilderness, like pillars of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all the merchants' fragrant powders? Behold, it is Solomon's couch, with 60 valiant men around it of the...
So if this is in chronological order, this Shulamite had already taken her beloved into her home, right? So she's there, like the beloved and her are together, and then Solomon's coach is coming. So that means they had to be two completely different people. The beloved and Solomon are two different people. If this is in chronological order, let's keep going.
The valiant of Israel. They all hold swords, being expert in war. Every man has his sword on his thigh because of fear in the night. Of the wood of Lebanon, Solomon the king made himself a palanquin. He made its pillars of silver, its support of gold, its seat of purple, its interior paved with love by the daughters of Jerusalem. Go
The daughters of
forth,
Jerusalem
O
were
daughters of Zion,
fawning over him.
and see King Solomon with the crown with which his mother crowned him on the day of his wedding, the day of the gladness of his heart.
So now I'm thinking that they're two completely different people. What's a palanquin? Palanquin, a covered litter carried on poles. Okay. So this whole thing, that whole thing is called a palanquin. Okay.
Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes behind your veil. Your hair is...
Time out, but why is Solomon's palanquin coming up to this woman's, the Shulamite's house? Is it just by chance that he's passing by? Or, maybe, as we saw in the beginning, it could be that Solomon likes this girl, but she likes her beloved, a shepherd, right? Because right now we're going with, behold, you are fair, my love. Could this be Solomon talking because he just showed up? Or is this her beloved who is there prior? From the last chapter, it seems like they're two different people. So I'm going with that for now.
Is like a flock of goats.
Let me know what you guys think about it in the
going down
comments.
from Mount Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn sheep which have come up from the washing, every one of which bears twins, and none is barren among them. Your lips are like a strand of scarlet, and your mouth is lovely. Your temples behind your veil are like a piece of pomegranate. Your neck is like the Tower of David, built for an armory, on which hang 1,000 bucklers, all shields of mighty men. Your two breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle, which feed among the lilies. Until the day breaks and the shadows flee away, I will go my way to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. You are all fair, my love, and there is no spot in you.
I find it's sweet that he calls her fair, and there's no spot in you, and she is insecure about her color, calling herself dark and whatnot. So that's nice. That's sweet.
Come with me from Lebanon, my spouse, with me from Lebanon. Look from the top of Amana, from the top of Sina and Hermon, from the lions' dens, from the mountains of the leopards. You have ravished my heart, my sister, my spouse.
My sister.
You have ravished my heart with one look of your eyes, with one link of your necklace. How fair is your love, my sister, my spouse. How much better than wine is your love, and the scent of your perfumes than all spices.
So it looks like he is reciprocating the similar compliments that she gave him at the very beginning in chapter 1.
Your lips, oh my spouse.
Was that to him or was that to Solomon? Well, we'll jump back to that again.
Drip as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under your tongue, and the fragrance of your garments is like the fragrance of Lebanon. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Your plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits, fragrant henna with spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all the chief spices. A fountain of gardens, a well of living waters and streams from Lebanon.
Awake, O north wind, and come, O south. Blow upon my garden, that its spices may flow out. Let my beloved come to his garden and eat its pleasant fruits.
I gotta jump back. I'm curious, what does this have some sort of double meaning? This last bit, it sounds like it could. 4:16, right? But first, let me check this real quick. Does it have it properly put down? It's going to be sort of a hassle. Let's just do the actual text for that. In the previous verse, the maiden made the transition from my garden to his garden, right? That's what I thought. Okay. So now the beloved received her gift and made her garden. You know, there was a very real sense that okay, yeah, we get it. Okay, all right. That's what I was thinking. You guys can see that. Okay. So let's jump into chapter 1 again. I just want to check this real quick. So it looks like he is specifically talking about her in chapter 4. I want to see in chapter 1, was she specifically talking about the beloved, or was she talking about Solomon? Let him. Okay, so didn't really say much. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. For your love is better than wine, because of the fragrance of your good ointments. Your name is ointment poured forth. Therefore the virgins love you. Draw me away. So it seems like that she's talking about Solomon here, because the fragrance of his ointments, the virgins love him, and she's saying, draw me away. So this person is getting a lot of attention. He smells good due to ointments and fragrances, and she's saying, draw me away. So this seems like this is Solomon, and she loves somebody else. And whereas in chapter 4, seems like the beloved is saying what she was saying about Solomon to her. And he's talking about how she smells really nice. Well, we just read it. You guys know. Okay. Who is this beloved? Let me look up a different commentary. Song of Solomon. Let's do 3. Oh. Commentary. And let's use a different website. Let's try Christianity.com. And let's go to which one was talking about
And in the square,
the Shulamite. The coming of Solomon. That'll be a good one, actually, because we now have 2 separate instances, right? We had her running around the streets trying to find him, found him in the streets, and dragged him home. And then Solomon comes in. So let's see what this commentary's got to say about that. Which verse was that at? 4. Let's go actually the previous one. The watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth? Okay, so we're getting into symbolism and drawing parallels to Jesus. But I want to know what the story is about, you know? Yeah, they're drawing parallels to Jesus. a reminiscence, elaboration in the Song of Solomon of the intensity of their love for their union. Okay, who is they? We know Shulamite is one. I guess I should look up enduring word and see. I found the one I love. She dreamt that her diligent search was rewarded, though the watchman mentioned in the previous verse could not help her. She nevertheless found the one she loved. I held him and would not let go. So she brought him to her mother. Okay, when does Solomon come in? Behold Solomon's coach. Who is this coming out of the wilderness? The immediate impression upon reading this is to think that this is the beloved, Solomon making a dramatic entrance. Yet, the ancient Hebrew word translated this in the feminine singular. The question, who is this, is properly answered. It is the maiden arriving in Solomon's palanquin for the wedding described at the end of the chapter. So this is in who is this is feminine singular. So we're talking about a completely different instance. This is not happening chronologically after, like right after, the beloved and the woman, the Shulamite meet, and she takes her to her mother's house. It's not that. It's probably after. Kinlaw explains that the word translated this is in the feminine singular and believes it is referred to the maiden herself. It is obviously a wedding procession. Our picture is of the groom and his men bringing his bride from her home to his city for the wedding. The other times this question is asked, who is this? In Song of Solomon, the answer is the maiden. In either case, it cannot be Solomon or the king who is described. Notably, she came out of the wilderness, from whence we little expected to see so beautiful and glorious bride to come, such persons being usually bred in courts or noble cities. Okay, that makes some sense. And doubtless, whenever God shall be pleased to bring forth his church in power, and to make her mighty among the sons of men, the ignorance of men will be discovered breaking forth in yonder, for they will say, who is this? Like pillars of smoke perfumed. Okay, so that makes sense why they were talking about the smell and whatnot. Because it's a female. What was this? 6 to 8, right? Who is this coming out of the wilderness like pillars of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all the merchants' fragrant powers? Behold, it is Solomon's coach, with 60 valiant men around it, of the valiant of Israel. They all hold up swords, being experts in war. Every man has a sword on his thigh, because of fear in the night. Of the wood of Lebanon, Solomon the king made himself a palanquin. He made its pillars of silver, its support of gold, its seat of purple, its interior paved with love by the daughters of Jerusalem. Go forth, O daughters of Zion, and see King Solomon with the crown with which his mother crowned him on the day of his wedding, the day of the gladness of his heart. So this palanquin that supposedly the Shulamite is in is coming. But then it says, go forth, O daughters of Solomon, and see King Solomon with the crown with which his mother crowned him. So why would they go run off to see King Solomon as his palanquin's coming in when the Shulamite is in there? The Shulamite woman is in there. So it seems like it is Solomon in the palanquin, not the Shulamite. So I don't know. There's a whole bunch of interpretations of this. So I would be curious. What do you guys think about Song of Solomon 1 to 4? Because it looks like we're having multiple interpretations. Yeah, so who is this coming? Is it Solomon or is this a Shulamite woman? Who is the beloved? Is it Solomon or is this another person that the Shulamite woman loved? You know? There's a lot of different interpretation. What do you guys think about this? Let me see if it talks about when Solomon was anointed and recognized as king, even before the death of his father David, the high priest presided over the ceremony, not his mother Bathsheba. This may mean that when his mother crowned him was when his mother crowned him for his wedding day, in a time of relative innocence when Solomon was captivated by and attached to only one woman. See King Solomon with the crown with which his mother crowned him in. But they're saying, see him now. Yeah, it seems like on the day of his wedding, the day of the gladness of his heart, it was the glad wedding because their love was real. It was passionate, but it was also pure and restrained into the proper channels. This principle made it a glad day, not only for the maiden and the beloved, but also for everyone. So what do you guys think? Is the beloved Solomon, or is the beloved someone else? Is this person coming in Solomon's palanquin the Shulamite woman, or is it Solomon? Dang, I didn't expect Song of Solomon to be this mysterious. But so that's going to be it for today. Hopefully we'll gather more clues as we jump into Song of Solomon chapter 5. But I thought it was interesting. It's a nice story so far, and then hopefully by the end we can draw its full meaning. I'm sure there's a whole lot of symbolism in here, which we'll pick up as we go. So hope you enjoyed today's reading. That'll be it for today. Tomorrow we'll jump into Song of Solomon chapter 5, and hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you then. All right, take care. Bye bye.